different guests from Monday to Friday, but Thursdays it's a free consultation because you get to meet with the business activator, and then we iron out tough issues in business. So if you are listening, I'm really glad because you're about to learn something really, really important that could take your business from zero to a hero, from zero to hero. I mean, from a small capital, small business to something that is very big, because what we'll do here is to give you standard practice. What big companies do to succeed, you can also do it as a small business owner. So John Paul Iwoa is my guest. He's a business activator who has worked with entrepreneurs to fix difficult problems at the startup and growth stages of business. And for more than a decade, John Paul has helped dozens of entrepreneurs to start new businesses, raise funds, grow sales, optimize business models, and solve human capital and growth problems. His clients are active in industries that range from agribusiness and tech to retail, healthcare, manufacturing, energy, financial services, and other sectors. John Paul is an alumnus of PwC and qualified as a chartered certified accountant with ACCA. He is a frequent speaker, a trainer, and a judge who's worked with business networks and entrepreneurial focus organization. He has been featured on several platforms, including CNN, TRTW, Huffington Post, Fidelity Bank, SMEs Forum, and the African Diaspora News Channel. And in 2018, he was recognized by LinkedIn as a top voice on startups and entrepreneurship. If you go to LinkedIn right now, if you're active on LinkedIn, you should know John Paul Iwoa. So today we'll continue from where we stopped last week. We've been discussing this series now for a while because something big is about to happen on this program, in the Thursday edition of the program. That's why we are going somewhere with what we're discussing. So we started weeks ago, 5 secrets of successful business ideas, and today we are number 4, and he's here to talk on that. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
The pleasure is all mine. Now to the conversation. 5 secrets of successful business ideas. I know that you've given us 1, 2, 3, and today's number 4, but just a refresher. Just start from 1. Don't explain it because we don't have time.
Yes.
Just drop it, and let's move to number 4.
Okay, so 5 secrets of successful business ideas. Essentially, if your business doesn't have at least one of these ingredients, you are, in summary, wasting your time. The first ingredient I talked about is problems. People are very motivated to solve their problems. They will pay money to solve their problems. The bigger the problem you can solve with your product or your service, the more money you can charge for it. The second thing I talked about is customer demand. It is easier and better to sell what people are already buying than to try to convince people to buy what you want to sell to them. People are creatures of habit. We will likely stick to the familiar. So it is better for you to key into existing demand than to try to create your own demand from scratch. The third secret is market gaps. Sometimes gaps open in the market because of one of several reasons. It could be a new law by the government. It could be a change in the environment. It could be a change in the taste of customers and things like that. I gave a few examples last week when I talked about this. I said, for example, right now, the shift in the market is, one example is what's happening to petrol. So within the energy mix of Nigeria right now, there is a shift. Why did that happen? From the moment government removed subsidy, all of a sudden, the competing fuels, particularly like CNG that we're seeing that is gradually entering the market, an opportunity was created. Before now, that gap was not there because petrol was cheaper than CNG. Right now, because the subsidy is out, all of a sudden, there's a market gap that creates opportunity. The secret I want to talk about today is quite interesting, which is called niches, right? Some will call it niches, some will call it niches, whatever it is, NICHES. So a niche is a segment of the market that is largely ignored or underserved by the products and services that are currently in the market. What this means is that if you look at most businesses in Nigeria, not only just in Nigeria, in many parts of the world, most businesses are generalists. They sell a product that is intended to fit almost anybody, right? So, but there are people in the niches that are particularly not being served well. If I'll give a couple of examples, if you say food, for example, or let me start with water. That's my favorite culprit. If you say water is water. How can you niche down on water? There is a water product in Nigeria that is sold by a big company in Nigeria. The color of the bottle is not blue, it's green. And the reason it's green is that it's not just water. There is zinc in that water, and they make it clear that zinc is particularly added to this water. And that is because in our nutritional profile, there is a widespread deficiency of zinc within our population because we're not taking it as food and we're not getting it enough as water. So there is that water there. Most people don't know the water because you're not in that niche. But if you are somebody who already has deficiency problems or you are looking for that kind of water, it's already there in supermarkets. And of course, as you can imagine, it's more expensive than ordinary water. So the people that are looking for it know where to find it and they will buy it and they tend to pay more. If you look at food, for example, and you say, everybody eats food. How can you niche down on food? There is a rising community of vegetarians and vegans across the world. These are the people who are saying things like meat-based diets are not good. They cause cancer. They cause all these diseases. So these people don't eat meat. They don't eat anything derived from meat. They focus mainly on vegetarian products and vegan products. If you go to 99.9% of restaurants in Lagos or Nigeria, they don't cater to that. They don't cater to that niche.
Yeah.
If you go in there, you like what even makes it look like you're eating good food, real food in Nigeria is that on your plate there has to be meat, the different types, the brocoto, obstacles, So, but in the market there are vegans, there are vegetarians. They can't really find any restaurant, right? But guess what? There are vegan restaurants in Lagos. There are vegetarian restaurants in Lagos. But because you're not in that niche, you don't know. Let's go to education. If you go to any school, they tell you it's primary, this is primary school, this is secondary school. As long as you have a child, bring the child to that school. But there's a growing niche in Nigeria of children that have special needs.
Yeah.
From autism to speech impediment to, if you have that kind of child, the normal schools that we have essentially are not built for those kinds of children. So you are seeing particularly, there are not a lot of them, but they are there. Schools for people with special needs. And in fact, most times it cannot be full-blown school. So what you have are independent practitioners, teachers that specialize in children that have special needs. And what they charge for those children is not the same thing as you charge for your normal primary school. They charge more. And that's because specialists are more valuable than generalists. If you're a specialist, you can charge more because you are going deeper with the customer, unlike what other people are going to ask you for. And when I try to break down niches, like when people ask me, how do you identify a niche? There are two main ways you can more or less identify a niche. Those customers are looking for specific needs. They have specific needs or specific problems. Like the thing I said about the water with the zinc. The thing I said about essentially mineral water, what I said about vegetarians and children with special needs. Those ones have specific needs that they need to take care of. You also know that there are schools in Lagos here that don't do the normal secondary school. They only specialize in pass your JAMB, pass your SSC. They don't do, and they're always full every year because they focus on one specific thing. They don't want to teach you biology, chemistry, and physics for 6 years. No, they are only focused on will help you pass JAMB, will help you pass SSC. That's a niche, and people pay a lot for those kinds of things. So it's either you have specific needs or emotional needs. And for emotional needs, I want to talk about two particular groups in Nigeria. I don't know if you've noticed now that in some gated estates, I tend to see this along the Lekki corridor. You see people walking around with these dogs, the pet dogs. Even people have big dogs, attack dogs, Rottweilers. And so you are having a community in Nigeria, in the middle class and upper class, where they would rather their pets eat than they eat. I even have one in my own family. My brother is like that. He has 3 dogs, right? So when I see how much he spends on these dogs, I'm like, what the hell is going on, right? And he will prioritize these dogs over himself. The dogs are looking very well fed and taken care of. So the thing there is that people who have pets have emotional needs. For you and I, we'll be like, what is a dog? Why will you, why would a dog need all this care? But to them, it is very, very important because it's an emotional part of their lives. And they will spend anything. They have dog spas now. People take their dogs to spas. They get body treatment, hair treatment, and all of that. They even have dog hotels. So you want to travel, you want a dog to be taken care of. I heard of one in Lekki Phase 1. You check your dog into that place. They take care of the dog. When you come back, it's a niche. They have specific needs and they pay for it. They don't mind paying for it. It's something that they can afford. The second group I want to talk about are the The beard gang, that's another interesting one. Men with beards. It's an emotional thing for them, how it looks. And you need to, if you are close to one, find out how much they spend on keeping those beards the way they are. It's an emotional need. You'll be like, but you can just trim this thing, and they'll tell you no. You know, they have special oils for those things. They have special creams for them. The ones that grow them, the ones that make them darker. And so these are different niches that are in the Nigerian market. But if you go into business, you're more likely going to be thinking as a generalist. I want to sell hair cream. But if you are targeting a niche, a hair cream for who? If it's a woman who is very particular about growing her natural hair, that's a niche. And they spend a lot on that hair to maintain it and things like that. So essentially, that's what a niche is. A niche is a product or a service that is intended to do more for the customer than the average product. So maybe if we can play with this, we can try just choose any product. You can toothpaste, soap, and I can tell you how you can go.
You can niche down.
Niche down. And if it's a surprise if you niche down. The thing with a niche is that the size of the market is smaller, but what you make up for is in price and margin. Usually when you are selling to a niche, your profit margin is higher, even though you don't sell a lot, but it is much higher.
But you know, our society does not really encourage people that do niches, that niche down, because we tend to favor generalists. For example, if you want to hire somebody, most time you want someone that can do this, do that, be able to do all of the things. Unlike abroad, if you want to shoot a movie, for example, they have somebody, a light director. All the work is to handle the light, and even in that light, they have people that handle the bright one. They're able to handle the dim light. Before you see editors of, we have an editor, and then we have another editor that's going to focus on just sound. Some going to focus on general editing, while some going to focus on effects. You know, the niche is something we hear so much abroad, but in Nigeria, most times, like you were talking about those people taking care of pets, you have to look for them. It's because we don't really encourage them, so there might not be so much money.
So you have a point there. When you say we don't, let's speak for ourselves, because this market is huge, number one. And number two, there's a kind of customer that is in a niche. Like that's why I told you they have specific needs and emotional needs.
Yes.
So let me give you this clear example. Let me show you how these customers think. If you have a problem with your joint, maybe with your bone, and they're telling you they need to do surgery on that bone, and they bring two doctors to you. One is a general doctor. He knows everything about every part of the body, the head, the brain, the kidneys, everything. He's been doing it for 20 years. They said, that's doctor number one. It will cost you 500,000 naira. That doctor is a general. He does everything. Costs you 500K, right? The second doctor comes in. For the past 30 years, he only does bone surgery. He's a specialist. That's what he does. His charge is 1.5, 3 times the cost of the general practitioner.
Yes.
But the thing is that because that is all he does, he understands what could go wrong from several different dimensions, right? So who you choose now will depend on two things: how much money you have and how much risk you are willing to take with your body. Because if you don't want story, you go with the specialist. If you can accommodate story and your budget is constrained, you go with the generalist. Most people in a niche don't want to hear story. People that have dogs don't want to hear story about their dogs. Somebody who is particular about their health, somebody that wants to write JAMB and has been writing it for the last 3 to 4 years and says this year I must enter school, the person is not interested in a generalist. They will likely pay more for a specialist. And the reason why it looks like people like generalists is that, you know, there are coded market. That's what they call them, coded markets in Nigeria. When they say coded markets, you don't hear much about them. Yeah. And that's why they are specialists. They don't have a lot of customers, but when they are needed, they just come in and they do that work. They charge a lot of money and then it's done. That's the nature of a niche. If the customer is price sensitive, automatically that disqualifies them from. In fact, I met somebody recently who serves a niche market. He says that how he finds his customers is that he knows them from how they react to the price. So he tells you what he can do. He shows you evidence of what he has done. So there's no, and then he gives you the price. If you start pricing, he knows you are not the customer. He said people that price, they are problem customers. They will give him issues. They will call him back. So, but that his real customers, they don't price because their concern is not the price. Their concern is the risk. Their concern is the value. Price is the least of their problems. So, but when you price, he's very clear that the value is not very important to you. You are very negotiable around risk. You are just a price. So, because the moment you price, he just kicks you off. He's not interested. So he doesn't have a lot of customers. He may do 2 to 3 deals a year, and he's good. Meanwhile, people who are doing generalists, every day they are hustling. Every day they are hustling because you want to make 5% here, 5%. This guy does almost 400% profit per deal that he does.
How do you fit yourself into a niche?
So what it means is that you will have to master your craft. Whatever it is that you're doing, you really, really have to master it. I saw one even recently. There is a veterinary place in Lekki, the one I talked about.
Yes.
The way they positioned it is like, it's like an amusement park for dogs. So you come there, all this party, anything at all you want to do. So what it means is that you've chosen one area and you've gone above and beyond. So imagine if I just come and I ask, where can I find a pet clinic or a pet spa? Usually in a niche, they stand out. You only remember one person, they stand out because they're usually the weird ones. You'll be like, everybody is doing general. They do this, they do this, they do that. You are for me, you only do one. And they're there looking at you like, it's less stress and they make more money. So it is harder in the beginning because you don't have a lot of customers. But if you stick with it, over time, people know you for it. It's like saying you're a hospital, you do everything. And then there's this other place, they only do dentals. If you want to do teeth polishing and everything, they are specialists in it. Will you go to the general hospital or you go to that specialist?
If you need to get your teeth done.
Do you know how much people are spending on I even looked at it, I have to go and do my, when they showed me the bill, I'm like, you must be joking. So
people are...
Do you know how much people spend on doing their teeth? As in all those teeth arrangements, putting all the covers, I'm like, are you... So if you're making this much money, what are you doing with being a general practitioner? So there's money in being a specialist. It's just that the general market will not hear about it because niches are small and they strike us as weird. And because they are weird, they are not easily served by the general market. They are mostly ignored or underserved. So if you focus on them and get them, all of a sudden, you are in a space that you are not competing with anybody.
Wow.
So that's the power of a niche.
And now that you spoke about it, now I think it's very clear. So, but for you to go niche down, you have to know what you're doing.
You have to be a specialist.
That's number one.
Yes.
You have to be really, really good,
really,
not just
really
to choose to. And you have to have confidence in yourself.
Yes.
If not, you'll be pushed by, people are not coming. Let me just do everything.
Mary, let me even add one. There's this in construction. There's this thing where if you guys say, "Oga, I did do roofing, I did do tiling." They'll say, I do everything, right? There are these guys that are coming from Cotonou and Togo, the tilers. All they do is tiling. They just come, any tile you want to, they are. So over time, when they started initially, they were always looking for them. I want that Togolese tiler. I want the Cotonou tiler. Meanwhile, many of our Nigerian guys, because they want to get income from everywhere, they do mason work, they do plumbing, they do everything. Yes. So over time now, those guys have taken over that space of building and construction. It's very likely that if you see somebody who is like an excellent tiler, he's not a Nigerian. And that's because they are specialists. And when they come and give you their price, they don't even haggle price. You can tell them, no, somebody else said they will come and do it. When the local person does it, you will see the clear difference. There's a clear difference. So you'll be like, I built this house. I don't plan to demolish this house soon. So that means this mistake I've made now will be in this house forever. Meanwhile, if you had paid extra, you get a specialist and you get perfect work. So there's money in specialization. It's just that people are not patient enough to build the value that would justify the additional price of being a specialist.
Wow. Yeah. Interesting conversation. Now we want to go for a break, but before I do that, I want you to do something. There is a book for you, something that you could read and it will help you immensely. It's called How to Find Good Business Ideas in Nigeria. 6 powerful strategies for discovering gaps and opportunities to make money in Nigeria market. It's a free book, but what you need to do right now is to head on to www.activatorhq /903fm, activatorhq.com/903fm. Now if you go to that, if you click on that, it will go to a page that has a WhatsApp channel. It's a business strategy group VOP 903 FM. So view the channel, you will see the book there. Scroll up, you're going to see the book there for you to download, and then follow the channel. It's very important that you follow it because all of the announcements, all of the things we'll be doing is going to be on that channel for this particular program. So let's do that right now. www.activatorhq.com /903fm. So we'll go for a break now. When we we come back, we'll open the phone lines to get your questions. Keep it here.
Are you looking for the perfect getaway?
Look no further than the luxurious accommodations at Airport Golden Tulip Hotel, Lagos, number 42, Muritala Muhammad International Airport Road, Lagos.
Relax and unwind in a beautifully appointed rooms featuring all the amenities you need for a comfortable stay.
Whether you're traveling for business or pleasure, our attentive staff is here to ensure that your everyday need is met. We also offer complimentary pick-up and drop-off from the Lagos airport.
Take advantage of our state-of-the-art fitness center, outdoor pool, and enjoy a delicious meal at our on-site restaurant.
With stunning views, world-class service, and a prime location, Airport Golden Tulip Hotel, Lagos is the perfect choice for your next vacation or business trip.
So, why wait? Book your stay today and experience ultimate in comfort and luxury at Airport Golden Tulip Hotel.
For bookings and reservations, please call 0815-8003-333 or 0815-7003-333. You can visit our website at airportgoldentuliphotel.com.
Airport Golden Tulip Hotel, where luxury meets comfort.
The award-winning pizza in the US is now here in Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Romeo, the pizza champions, and cold berry ice cream, delight in every scoop. Visit any of our outlets and feel the rich taste from the pizza champions and cold berry ice cream at 11 Road by First Avenue, Festac Town, 28 at Denira Ogunsanya Street, Surulere, 13 Admiralty Way, Lekki Phase 1. Romeo's Pizza and cold berry ice cream. Romeo, the pizza champions. Are you aware that Iruka Online Limited installed and designed a 100,000 capacity church building? Oh yeah, we are the sole distributors of global leading brands all over the world, such as Wafday Line Array, speakers and digital amplifiers, Preseno's digital mixers and studio equipment, Coswell workstations and keyboards, Fender guitars, Mapex drums, Ashdown bass combos, just to mention but a few. We offer flexible payment plan handled by our financial department with 24/7 customer care support system. You can visit our website on www.iruka.com to avoid buying fake products. You can also visit our showroom at number 36 Lagos International Airport Road beside Golden Tulip Hotel. Iruka, never settle for less.
You're listening to Voice of the People 90.3 FM. 1 minute before 10 o'clock is Business Around Town. And today's topic has been a very interesting one. 5 secrets of successful business ideas. And I know you want to join the conversation. So what you need to do now is to send in a WhatsApp message to us on 0700 903 9039. That is the WhatsApp number, 0700 903 9039. Or you could call in 0700 903 903. We're talking about niche here, niching down. Have you tried it? Are you into it? What's the experience? Well, I want to get real life experience from you. If you're into a business and you say, okay, this is what I specialize in, I'm a specialist in this. How's it been for you? So let's talk this morning. 0700 903 9039. And apart from that, if you have questions, other related questions for your business, you want to ask the business activator, feel free to send in your questions right away and I will take your calls. I remember the website again is www.activatorhq.com/903fm. www.activatorhq.com/903fm. When you go there, you're going to see a page for a WhatsApp channel. Yeah, click on view channel and then you see the book there, the book that I spoke about. Download the book, is for free, and ensure that you are following the channel. The title of the book is How to Find Good Business Ideas in Nigeria. Now the questions are coming in. I'm going to take the first one. Remember, you have to send your questions on time so that we can handle all of it. 0700 903 9039. Okay, now the first one here says, good morning to you. My name is Choma, and I'm listening to you now from Mafuluko area. Now, what you spoke about niche, I tried it, but it didn't really work for me. I make clothes. I make clothes for children. I like making clothes for children. And I wanted to just niche on that. But as time goes on, adults started coming to me that they want to make clothes. And I needed the money, so I started making for adults. And before you know it, I'm making more for adults now and few for children. Not that they are not children clothes to make, but because of the money, I had to start taking clothes from everybody. Even if a man comes to me that he wants to make clothes, I might be tempted to make clothes for the person because I need the money. Is there a way I could stamp my foot down and say children clothes is children clothes and turn my eyes from making for adults? Choma.
Okay, that's a good question. There are already examples that we can borrow from. Some of if I use a brand like, if I use a car brand like Toyota, right? Mm-hmm. Many people don't know that Toyota also owns Lexus. Maybe some people will know now, but Toyota owns Lexus. There's a reason why they changed the name. They didn't call it Toyota Luxury or Toyota Upper Class or Toyota Exclusive. They changed the name totally. So what this means is that companies do it intentionally. When they want to target a niche, they make it look like it's a separate business, like it's a different business. So it carries on a different name, a different profile. It's still the same company, but to the market, it looks like it's two different things. So if you had your business kiddies and you say, and people come to say, we only do children's clothes here, but our other subsidiary, our other company does for everybody. In their mind, that separation is there. And the reason why that separation will help you is that it doesn't confuse the communication. Now, whatever name your company has, so ABC Clothing, in people's minds right now, ABC Clothing is for everybody. ABC Clothing is a generalist. Imagine if you had ABC Kiddies or a different name that's not related to it. People will know that, okay, this one does only children and this one does general. That's the only way I would separate it. I wouldn't ask you to leave money on the table, but all these things are strategies that companies, particularly when something is coming up, they spin off a totally different brand, colonize that market while remaining in the general side. Look at what's happening in milk. The milk that we consume in Nigeria, I think is only about 2 or 3 companies that are responsible for most of the milk in the Nigerian market. But to the person who drinks, you say, I'm this kind of person. This kind of milk is upper class, but this other one is lower class. Meanwhile, the upper and lower class milk the money is going into the same company. So that is how you can structure it. You can still take advantage of a niche opportunity without giving up the other side of your business.
Wow, that's a very good answer. Very good one. So I hope, Choma, you're satisfied with that. Now, another question here. This one is from Gabriel. Gabriel said, good morning to you, sir, business activator. I like listening to you. This is my question. I'm having problem with staffing. Now, my company is a company that does delivery. We deliver things to people. And for now, I have a lot of people that want me to deliver products for them to different locations. But the work is getting too much for me. But I have not made enough to employ another person. What can I do? I have one bike. I do my pickups and drop off for people. Now I'm getting a lot of orders. I can't be in all of the places at the same time. This is my season to make money, but I'm afraid to employ another person because of the cost. Gabriel.
Okay, so this type of business is one where he's stuck because right now he's self-employed. He doesn't really have a business now. That is the true situation of it. And the way this kind of business works is that if you are not necessary in that chain, you'll be cut out. So this is what I mean. If he employs another person and then when he gets orders, he sends that person to do pickup. What that person will realize is, why should that person make 40% of the money when they can take all of the money? So you start realizing that when you send that person is now gradually taking customers away from him because he's no longer necessary. So that is why if you look at the platforms that are doing all the delivery things, they try to use tech as the center so that the customer needs the app and the company already has the details of the customer. So that's why they're essential. The way he's running this now, that person is thinking he will hire. What he's going to realize is that he will hire somebody, give that person a bike, then the stories will start because that person is an employee. So apart from getting their salary that is assured at the end of the month, they'll be doing deals also on the side. What I would advise is that he should get somebody who is willing to work as a partner in the business, not an employee in the business. If he's doing employees, those people will not last. Or he should get people who have their own bikes and then take commissions. So when he gets orders, he can take commissions from those jobs as long as he can before that person takes over the customers. It's quite a difficult business, this logistics part. The one you can be sure of is the one you've done yourself, the orders you've done for yourself. But the moment you start adding other people to it, the question is, how are you necessary? If you link somebody to a customer and that person likes that person's delivery, it's only a matter of time. That person will stop calling you and start calling the bike person directly.
Yes.
And once that happens, you're no longer important in that chain. They will cut you out. That's what happens. So how do you make yourself important in that chain? That's why these companies have their apps, so that way they lock in. They can even track what is going on. That sort of thing. Yeah. So another thing he can do is he can provide a bike. Mm-hmm. He can buy a bike, get somebody to ride it, and he's not going to make money on the orders. He should put that person on hire purchase. So this is my bike. You are using the bike to do business, but you'll be paying me back for this bike. So what that means is that over a period of about 1 year to 18 months, that person will be stuck to him because that person needs to pay off that bike. If you don't pay off the bike, I take back my bike, then you don't have a business anymore. So that's how he can remain. He has to find a way to stay relevant. If not, anybody he introduces to customers, in a matter of time, they'll cut him out. You will not be necessary.
Great. Now, more questions for you. The number to send in your questions to on WhatsApp is 0700 903 9039. 0700 903 9039. That's the number. And for you to call in, if you want to call, is 0700 903 903. 903. Okay, another question here for you. This one says, good morning to you, sir. My name is Paul. I run a hotel business. I have a small hotel that I manage. I've been doing this hotel business for about 5 years. I started out helping to manage someone's hotel. So what I do now is, the hotel is not mine per se. Mm-hmm. But I run everything about the hotel, people that come in and all of that. And then I pay the owner of the building some money. The business has not been so lucrative, my brother. It's not. So I want to niche on something as a hotel owner. I want to niche on something. Should I say it's for only women? Should I say it's for only nights activities? I want to niche that. Maybe that will help me because I want to build in this industry, Mr. Paul. Okay, good question. Good question, Mr. Paul. So it's good that he's thinking along the lines of niching, because if your hotel is open, there's nothing that really makes you remarkable. You're competing with everybody, the big boys, the shortlets, the per hour, all of them. So the first thing that I think is important for a hotel business is location. I don't know where the location of this hotel is, but if I assume that it's located somewhere in Lagos here where there's a lot of activity, my first focus will be on business needs. So why would the business need my hotel? Why I like business as customers is that for them it is important and they can pay. They're a business. So if you are relevant to a business will pay you because they need you to keep remaining. So one example I'll give is all these transport companies that are around. So whether if you're around a transport company or something, you approach them with a proposal to say you have a special rate for them. Transport companies always have people going in and out. If it's not their drivers, it's their customers or whoever. And if you have a special rate for them, it's something they can tell you, some passengers can come and meet them and say, I'm stuck. This is my first time in Lagos, or this is my first time in this area. Where is there a hotel you trust that we can stay? If you have those kind of deals with transport companies, it's something that can fly. That's one example of. So it's about approaching businesses that have a lot of in and out, people moving in and out. And the reason I say this is that there are many guest houses that don't have signs that are scattered around Lagos. You will never know that they are a hotel. And that's because they are tied to companies. So companies that have guests that are coming in, those things are guest houses for companies here in Lagos. So a company comes and pays for a room and says, anytime I want this room, let it be available. Because sometimes I may have
customers or partners coming from outside Lagos and they need to sleep over. And I don't want them staying far away from the airport or far away from the office. So usually it's down the road. So I think that is one way he can niche. Let him align himself with businesses that will want to use him as a guest house. And then if businesses come in as a guest house, they have different needs. You will not just treat it like you come in as a guest in a hotel and you are on your own. No, they will want service. So they want it to be a serviced accommodation. So you are going to, all those things that somebody will need to make life easy for them so that when next they come to Lagos, they'll be looking forward to staying in your place and not in an Airbnb and not in a traditional hotel. So that's what a niche is. A niche takes more care of the customer than the average business. So that's the job he has to do. It's not enough to just get business customers. Business customers will have additional needs. So if they call me, okay, things like Wi-Fi, things like, do you have a shuttle that will take me to the airport? All those things, you can just make it a plug and play. Once your guests come into our guest house, we take care of them. All he needs are maybe 3 or 4 companies and he's done. He doesn't need walking customers. Once he gets those 3 or 4 deals, he's fine. So that's the area I will advise him to niche. Niching down on the basis of only women doesn't really make sense in terms of the kind of business he has, a hotel business. Niching down for only men, niching down for only families, those ones don't really make sense, right? This is the one I think will make sense. Businesses have guests from time to time. In this economy, most businesses don't have the money, or it doesn't make sense to them to go and rent a full guest house and pay for it for a whole year. You can now give them that opportunity of saying, you can have 2 rooms for yourself. Any time of the year you have guests, bring them in. And we're giving you a special rate. But the thing is that you pay 3 months or 6 months. If he gets 3 or 4 businesses, that he's fine. Yeah.
That's a very sharp one. I was thinking when you said women or men, I was not thinking of a family kind of getaway. Maybe for families, a getaway. So the mother don't have to cook when you come. All your needs will be met. There's a place for the children to play. There's a place for you and your wife. There's a karaoke. So it's a family gathering. So you could...
The concept of that makes sense, but my issue with that kind of customer is that it is seasonal. It is a seasonal kind of business. Families don't have that frequency of movement. It's either maybe it's a holiday or a special, so you'll not get enough volume from them. But business travelers have volume. There are people that just come into town strictly for business. They're only staying for 1 night or 2 nights and they're back. That sort of thing. Then it makes sense for that kind of person. Yes.
Okay, great. Yeah. Now another one here says, good morning, I am enjoying this program. I am Mr. Chigozie. Please, I need advice. I'm a salary earner, but not enough for me. I have a shop, but I don't have capital now. Please, what can I do? Can I give out that shop, though in good position at Ikotu? And also, I am tired of the job now. It's affecting my health. Did you get his question?
Okay, yeah. So there are 2 separate questions here. The first is that one is that he has an asset that he plans to use at a future date that is not yet clear. But right now, that asset is stranded and it is wasting. Because that shop right now is only existing in dreamland. Right now, it's locked. But there are people that are looking for space in that kind of position, in that kind of location that, So I don't know what stops him from giving out the shop for now until he has made up his mind about when exactly he's going to start the business. We discussed on this program that raising capital is one of the most reasonable excuses that people have for not starting a business. I'm not saying it's an excuse, but if you don't have the money, you don't have the money. But that shop could actually be a source of capital for the business he wants to start. So I don't think it makes sense that he's losing on 2 hands now. He's losing at work, he doesn't like the job, and then he's losing out on this asset. So I think he should make that asset productive. That shop needs to be productive. If not, he's wasting it. The second thing is, the reason why I don't particularly like to advise people who are still at a job is that I went through it personally myself. The decision to leave a job is a very personal one. No reasonable person will open his mouth and say, guy or lady, leave that job. No. You have to come to that conclusion by yourself. So, and not liking your job, not liking your boss, the thing is affecting your health, all those things they are important, but they don't really matter in the grand scheme of things, because your business will not work because you hate your job. So what I generally advise is this: don't run away from something, run towards something. All the people I know that were running away from something, a demanding boss, a terrible job, a stressful job, people that were running away from something, they end up not really achieving what they are looking for. The people who end up making it most times are the ones who are running towards something. So he should make up his mind about what kind of business he wants to start, when he wants to start it, what he wants to do, and chase that vision. But if the reason he wants to quit his job is because he doesn't like the job or he doesn't like the boss, it's usually not solid.
Not a strong enough reason.
Because when you start your business and the hard times come, you will start. You look back.
You quit your business because
you quit your business and go and look for a job and say, I like that job. They treat me better. It's not as stressful. You justify it if you are running away from something. But if you are pursuing something, even if the business is not working, you are thinking, how can I make this thing work? What else can I do? Yeah, because you are future focused. But when people are running away from something, they're always looking back. So even if right now you feel you're running away from a bad boss, because you are not chasing something, even if you end up doing a business, you will not be fulfilled. You keep looking back and
you might have regrets.
You have regrets, that sort of thing. So focus on what you want to chase, not what you're running from.
Oh, great. Now, the phone lines are open. I see you're calling, but I could not pick your call because we don't want to interrupt the answers. 0700 903 903 903. 0700 903 903 903. You could call now. I'll pick calls. Remember, we are discussing secrets of successful business ideas, and today we'll focus on niche. Like having a niche for yourself. Have we talked about how to identify the best niche for you as a business owner? What do I do? How do I identify that I'm good in all of these areas? How do I pick this particular one that this is good for me? Is there a way to do that?
That's a good question. There are two ways you can do it. One is, what is it that people are buying? But you're starting to sense that people are not entirely satisfied with what they are buying, but that's only what they can buy. It's a standard product, but people need more. What is it that people are buying, but they need more, but that more is not available?
Hello?
Yeah,
we have a caller here. Hello,
good morning.
Yeah, good morning to you, sir. What's your name and location?
My name is Jude. I'm calling from Ijesha.
Okay, welcome, Mr. Jude. Go ahead with your question.
Sorry, I want to find out something very important because this is personal to me. And I'm an engineer. I hold the first and second degree in chemical engineering. But recently, I had a health challenge, so I lost my sight. So I just want you to advise me on what you feel I can do. What do you feel I can do? Because I left my job when the challenge was much. So I resigned that was 2 years ago. But now I am, at least my eyes are not there. I can't see anymore. But what job do you feel I can do? Because as an engineer, I worked in the process industry then. But one thing I can do easily is teaching. Because I got the first class in chemical engineering. I can teach easily, but I think an advice from you because I need a direction to take. I don't want to, I'm young, I'm 35. I don't want to just sit at home. I don't want to be useless to myself. I want to be useful to myself and my family. So I need help from you. What do you feel I can do? Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate you. No.
This is
first class. And he can teach, and he's young.
I commiserate with him, and I like his spirit. He's spot on when he said teaching is something he knows that he can do. All I would like to add is that in terms of the teaching, there are two aspects he can delve into. There's the technical side of the teaching that he can do. And there's an element of inspiration that I see that he's doing that provides an opportunity. So on the technical side, he has 2 degrees in chemical engineering. He can teach that aspect of the technical knowledge that he has. The challenge with that is that the routes to market right now are limited and may not be very attractive. Most of that kind of knowledge right now is warehoused in our universities, in tertiary learning organizations. And to get into that and become a lecturer, the politics of university and, all those kinds of areas, I'm not sure, unlike in some other professions where you have like a certification track, maybe like accounting or IT, it would have been easy to carry that kind of knowledge into that area and teach outside of a regulated university. So that's it for the technical side. On the inspirational side, the story of an engineer, a first-class graduate, who has 2 degrees, a bachelor's and a master's, was working, lost his sight, and is not giving up on the fight, wants to continue fighting. That is a story that I think can sell. and selling in terms of raising the motivation of people who feel that they are in a worse situation. You know, I don't have my sight is gone, but I'm still in this fight. I'm not giving up on life. That is something that can give birth to, apart from the one we call the motivational space, whether it is books, you know, that he's writing, hosting a show, being a guest on this kind of thing, having a podcast that could then lead to him being on stages, both within the country and outside the country. In the environment where we are, people are in need of inspiration and motivation. And what I just heard is a story that can sell. So it's up to him. These are the two sides. He can stick with the technical knowledge that he has and try to teach the chemical engineering. But I've told you what my concerns are about that area. Or he can come into the inspirational side of his life story. Yeah.
Okay. Let's take another call here. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. My name is Dane, calling from Festac.
Okay, Dane, go ahead.
Okay, sorry, I just tuned into your channel now, and the first thing I heard was a statement where your host was saying, "Don't run away from that thing. Like, don't run away from it, but run towards it." I just need a recap of I think where he might have started that sentence from, because that was really an inspiration to me, you know, because there are a lot of things, or let me just say there are a few things that I'm doing whereby some people keep telling you, no, just leave it, you know, just leave it, and you know, I still want to push because I know I'm heading. So I just need a recap of what you just said there. Maybe I could have that playing in my head every day as I walk. That's all.
Thank you very much. You know the inspiration you talked about, you know, like people looking for inspirational words to keep them going. Like our last caller before this one talked the story that he gave. People need this kind of thing. You can see this caller now. Maybe you say you made a statement.
And just one statement. So you see there is an epidemic of depression and mental health issues, and it's becoming really big. So this kind of story from somebody who is quite accomplished, first class, he's still ready to fight for life. You know, if that kind of person talks, I have all my senses and I'm depressed because something happened to me. You know, all of a sudden it gives me perspective. So what I told you, is a story that can sell. It's all that is left now is for him to make himself available, be ready to sell that story, and he can open a number of doors that are available. To this other guy who asked, what I said is very simple. It's a journey that I've gone on personally. I've worked in corporate and now I've been on my own for a decade plus. And what I realized is that when it is time, there are a lot of people that want to quit their jobs. But I can safely guarantee that more than 50% of them will never quit those jobs. They will stay on those jobs until the very end. And the question is that it's not that they don't want something better. It's just that we are creatures of habit. We prefer to hold on to what we have than to chase something that may be. So all I'm saying is that if you say you hate your job and you don't like a job, or you want to quit the job because you don't like the job, that's not enough excuse. Running away from something is not the best way to accomplish anything. The best way to accomplish something is to set your eyes on something. There's this business I'm in love with. I want to start it. I want to do this thing. There's this thing that is wrong in the world. I want to fix it. That is my calling. If you are focused on that thing you are chasing, you have forgotten about the past. But if you are still looking at the past because that job did not treat you well, the moment you face challenges in business, which is guaranteed, there's no business you start that you not face, you almost lose your shirt. The moment those times come, you will even hear people telling you, "Guy, what are you doing? You are very accomplished. You're experienced. Dust your CV. Go find work." I heard it too during my own time when I was there. So you hear those things. And if you are running away from something, you will pick up that CV and go and look for a job. If you are running away from something. But if you are chasing something, it is not an option. For me, it was do this thing or die trying. My wife was like, "I'm becoming radical. I'm not being practical." I'm like, it doesn't make any sense to me. I'm not looking for anything in the past. I'm focused on something and I'm going to get it. So that's why I said you cannot advise somebody who is telling you they want to quit their job. This is a personal thing.
You know what you said just now? I think I just got the remana. If you're chasing something.
Yes.
If you're chasing something, you won't look back.
You won't look back. No. you won't look back because
if you quit your job because you're chasing something, you're chasing your dream,
you won't look back. But if you quit your job because you hate the job,
you're running away.
If somebody presents you with a better job, you will take the next job. Yeah, you look back. Yes.
So if you hired other the guys, I want to start my own business, but in your heart, you're running away from a bad boss.
Your problem is just going from mainland to island is stressing you, all the stress, and you're not making. That's why you want to open a business. The moment somebody tells, there's this and it's very close to your house, there's it, boom, you're out. You're not a true entrepreneur. So there's a calling to it. You have to chase. There has to be a vision. If there's no vision, you're just taking up a seat that we know you're going to leave. So
it's on that note we'll round off on today's program. Thank you for being part of the program. But remember, there's a free book for you to grab right now. All you need to do is to go to www.voiceofthepeople. What's in my head? Okay, go to this website right now, www.activatorhq.com/903fm. www.activatorhq.com/903fm. When you go there, you see a page that will show a WhatsApp channel. So click on view the channel. You get to see a free book for you there that you can download, and make sure that you follow the channel. That of the book is How to Find Good Business Ideas in Nigeria, 6 Powerful Strategies for Discovering Gaps and Opportunities to Make Money in the Nigerian Market. Thank you so much, John Paul Iwoha.
Thank you for having me.
Now we'll be speaking with John Paul Iwoha. He's a business activator. My name is Mary Onaife. We'll be here again same time next week, God willing, from 9:30 to 10:30. Do not change the dial. Keep it here. We are the voice of the people, 90.3 FM.
Are you looking for the